They're young and they're restless, and you better pay attention, Republicans, because they are apparently coming after you. Because if Britain's stunning election was any indication, I've been studying this. Younger voters have grown from protesting to voting, thanks to 2 million more of them in the British election than the last one 2 years ago. It's true. The Conservative Party was denied a majority lock on power, and now Prime Minister Theresa May finds herself sharing power. She's hanging by a thread because of these younger voters. They were apparently sick and tired of bitching after the fact. There is here, the young have always been very good at showing up for a protest. Not so good at showing up at the polls, calling it, well, I guess, young voters' remorse, which is odd because, as I said, many of the young didn't vote at all then. Certainly not in this country, where their participation in 2016 was far below what it was in the 2 prior presidential elections. So if they should be remorseful about anything, it's themselves. That is why their protests since have rung hollow. Now you're upset with the results those who did vote produced? They're not admitting it, but they learned their lesson in France, where record numbers of young people went for an outside-the-box young politician to set the establishment on its head. And in Britain, where they darn near did the same and left a shaky prime minister in darn near the same vulnerable position. Conservatives here should take note of what's going on over there and the implications for the next election and the next election after that over here. The young aren't only restless, my friends, they think the whole political establishment is clueless, and they're not to be patronized being called young. Consider their fondness for a certain liberal Labour Party chief who's actually quite old. Bernie Sanders old, but Bernie Sanders popular, very popular. Men ignored by their own parties there and here, and now suddenly finding new traction and respect everywhere. Conservatives, be wise to take note, because the one thing these so-called kids do get, showing up for protests matters, but showing up at the polls, whoa, matters a lot more. Good night.